I had a video request to see if my FN FAL or my SLR would work with a Canadian C3 gas mask and a Draeger M65 gas mask, and I think both requests were from different people, but I thought I'd do them in one video rather than doing a video for each. So, if you don't know, this is an SLR. This is L1A1 SLR. That was the British Army designation for these. More famously known as the FN FAL or FAL. Known as the right arm of the free world. This was a gun that saw service with about 90 countries, somewhere between 70 and 90 countries, an absolutely insane number of sort of users. Not every country manufactured it, and I'll get onto that with the Draeger M65. Germany used it as the G1 rifle, Canada used it I believe as the C1A1 rifle, but essentially all of them were very similar, minor differences between each type. British type ones were known as inch pattern FALs as far as I'm aware, or imperial FALs, whereas the standard Belgian ones and ones other country used were known as metric FALs. Apparently some parts aren't compatible on the two, but overall they are very similar. So 7.62 battle rifle, very big, not as heavy as people make it out to be. Obviously it's a bit cumbersome and big, but the weight is well distributed on a FAL, which is one thing that's not true of many modern rifles. Funny bit of trivia is when they replaced the SLR in British Army service with the first generation of SA-80, the L85A1. The L85A1 supposedly had really bad weight distribution, so it was actually essentially the weight of a FAL despite being a smaller gun, but all the weight was nearly at the back, which made it even more awkward to carry than this thing. So, regardless, that's the rifle, just for a bit of backstory for those of you who don't know anything about it. So, let's try the Draeger M65 first. Now, Germany used the FAL. They called it the G1 when it was in service. And the reason they went to the G3 and didn't stick with the FAL as the G1 is because Belgium wasn't too happy about being invaded by Germany during World War II. They wouldn't give the Germans a production licence for it. So basically they said, you can buy the gun from us, but you're not going to pay us money and then make it yourself. So Germany had to go with another rifle. That was the set me that later became the G3. But regardless, they did use the FAL and the G3, which is a very similar rifle. So let's get this M65 on. I'm glad I shaved my hair because that makes it a lot more comfortable to get gas mask on. I don't think that's quite airtight because it is an M65 that doesn't quite fit my face, but let's test it with the FAL. I've already got the Iron Sight up. Yeah, I can get a sight picture, but it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. If I properly cheek weld, it's harder to do. So there you go, just to bring that closer to the camera. Oop. Yeah, it's possible, but not great. Mostly because the filter gets in the way of it. I'll have to do a comparison at some point, but I think the Israeli M15 has slightly better eyepieces in that regard. Okay, but now the Canadian C3, obviously based on the British light anti-gas respirator that I've done videos on before. And a very competent mask. This is a really good mask. Apparently the C4 is even better, but I really like this mask. It's the kind of nice mix between retro and having good features. Anyway, Canada used the C1A1 mask, which is basically a FAL. Basically exactly the same as L1A1 as far as I'm aware. There's a couple of minor differences maybe with the furniture on it, but that's about it. Okay. Don't think I've quite got a proper chin seal, but that won't affect this test anyway. So, yeah, nice and easy. I can cheek weld on that and get a good sight picture in various places on the thing. The bigger circular eye lenses on this mask make it better for the test than with the M65. The Draeger mask. Yeah, that's quite easy to do. Again, not as good a cheek weld as I'd want, but it's good enough for actually shooting in. The filter doesn't get in the way, it's better on the left side in my opinion. And yeah, nice and easy to see with that. So yeah, to answer your questions, both guns work, the gun works with both masks absolutely fine. The C3 would be my preference out of the two, partially because it's actually better to get a good face seal with this mask, and you get a better field of view of the big circular eye lenses. But obviously something modern like an S10, an FM 12, Canadian C4, American M40, all those would be better masks in my opinion. But a mask like this does its job quite well.